Greetings one and all, this is Lloyd Brown and welcome social media family to my vlog. Part 2 of a series of videos that I'm doing that's more or less removed from music. Call it life hacks, I guess. And the previous episode I was basically talking about time and how that equates to life. And how life equates to time, and how best we use our time, or how rubbish we use our time, and how we inflict that on other people, yada yada yada. Well, you saw the video anyway. But on this video, I want to basically talk about something that's encapsulated by a quote made by an Eddie Murphy. And I remember I remember hearing this quote on a stand-up show that he done. It wasn't Delirious, it was Raw, when he done the Raw stand-up video. And he made what could be seen as a sexist remark. But I'm going to expand that quote he made and make it more universal. Because in the context he was basically saying it, he was talking about the difference between men and women and how men behave if they were doing the dirty and cheating, and how women would behave if they were doing the dirty, because women would do it more stylish. A man would just basically just do it and, you know, be arse over tit about it, for want of a better phrase. He used it in that context. But the quote I'm going to say came from Eddie Murphy's mouth. And he said, "A woman is as faithful as her options." That's the quote. But I'm going to expand that and say, the human race is as faithful as their options. And I know that might sound like a no shit Sherlock alert, or something Captain Obvious would basically say, but it's true. It's absolutely true. If I choose to suddenly give you a barrage of cuss words and, you know, take off my clothes and run around this room naked, that's an option. But whether or not I'm going to be faithful to that option, that's for me to decide. It's for me to decide. And there's something in here that's called your conscience. And your conscience is always going to tell you what's right from wrong. It's always going to tell you what's right from wrong. My conscience to me is the Almighty's voice talking to me. It's the Almighty talking to me. So if I choose to go against the Almighty, it's someone else may I serve to fulfill an option that totally goes against what my conscience is basically saying. And in my life, it's been a long-running habit of me to experience people disrespecting, undermining, bad-minding me. And I see them do it. And I hear them doing it. One example, and I know if this person's going to watch this video, he's going to know it's him I'm talking about. But I remembered one day when the album Silver was released in 2007. And them times I was recording for Cousins Records, Donville Davis's label. And I remembered when the shipment of albums came in, because the album was so popular that we sent a shipment to America, but we had to get back that same shipment from America just to cater for the UK fans' demand for it. So I think it was like around 2000, 3,000. They were all in boxes stacked up. And this brother, who's in the business, came in and he was talking, and he literally, in front of my face, I shit you not, right? Let me go on. He literally, hold on a second. Right. Here is a typical it's a box of CDs. And the CDs will basically have a box of 25 in it, right? These are how the CDs come wholesale, right? He literally ripped one open and took two out and was about to put it in his pocket. And I saw him do that, and then the two of our eyes made four. And I just looked at him. And he looked at me. And he knows who this person is, because this person watches my videos on Twitter more than so, because the algorithms tell me, right? He literally stole from me in front of my face. And he stole in front of Dunville that didn't even know what was going on. So he was faithful to that option. He was faithful to the option of basically stealing from me, not caring about me having any food on my plate or on my table. Him, that option in self-entitlement of him not having to ask nobody for my CD, and him feeling that he can have not just one but two. And this man's in the reggae music industry, rolling around with a big act. Faithful to their options. Faithful to their options. Then you have people that try to undermine you in what you're doing. They try to undermine you. You have some people that they want to act on your behalf. And let's say, for example, they got a friend who's putting on a show and they want to know how much you charge. And you turn around and basically say, well, let's say for argument's sake, you're charging £5,000 to do a show. Then you get to find out that the person, the middleman you're talking to, is going back to the other person and saying, well, a £8,000 Lloyd Brown charge. And that has happened on many occasions. That hustler was being faithful to his options. Doesn't mean it's the right option. Doesn't mean it's the right option. Because he's going against that little voice here. And it's not just from a professional standpoint, it's a personal, from a personal standpoint as well. People behave how they behave to you. You know it's not right the way they behave, but it's just that they are faithful to that option. They chose that as an option as opposed to what will be universally seen as the right option. You know what I'm saying? Okay. It's like Chris Rock said one time, it's like, I could drive a car with my feet if I want to. Doesn't mean it has to be done. I love Chris Rock. But that's the point I'm making. It's an option, but it doesn't mean you have to do that. Because how are you going to progress when you run the risk of basically crashing the car when you're driving the car with your feet? But that's what people do. People are people, and people make the world go round. And if you have an option, or if you have many options, it's not a weakness to basically just choose the right option. You know, you're not being vulnerable when you're choosing the right option. And to think the guy that basically stole from me is a Rasta man with a bag of locks down to their sock. Yo, is what I'm saying. So I've grown to accept that people are as faithful to their options. And I know what those options are. And sometimes I just hope that they choose wisely. But then there are telltale signs that they are choosing the wrong options simply by them not talking to you. Simply by you picking up the phone and trying to get a hold of them and you can't get a hold of them. Simply by you sending a text to them and you can't get a text back. Their silence says that. Their silence says that. I don't know which person said, well, you know, me keeping quiet is not basically lying. I'm just being economical with the truth. That's deception. And that's your option. That you are pledging faithfulness to. So, in summary, it's kind of weird me saying something so obvious. But it's the things that are so obvious that can make life so simple in a lot of ways. I'm not saying life is going to be continually simple. Of course, we're going to have our challenges and things like that. But just limiting the options that we have or separating them to righteous options, unrighteous options, and options of compromise. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, I just wanted to leave you with that. Has nothing to do with music. It was just my mood today. And something that I wanted to get off my chest. Because just because I don't say nothing, don't mean I don't know what's going on. Don't mean I don't hear what's going on. Don't mean I don't see what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I just keep my mouth shut because it just saves me cussing out people's clot at the end of the day. And I'm not being faithful to that option. So it's with that, I'm going to bid you guys adieu for now. And as always, you don't know the coup. People, please abstain from foolishness. Even if it's me, I present foolishness to you. Abstain from me too. Saying? And until I catch you on the next one, people stay blessed. I'm gone.